Mucus is a substance that lines the airways of the lungs to provide lubrication, filtration, and protection to keep foreign materials from entering the respiratory system. As we breathe in, pollutants such as dust, allergens, and even viruses get stuck in mucus, which functions as a way to keep these substances from reaching the lungs. Although, sometimes our bodies will produce too much mucus, which leaves you feeling congested and makes it much more difficult to breathe. The great news is, in this video, we are going to talk about some of the easiest and most effective ways to get rid of excess mucus and that nagging feeling naturally. Make sure to watch until the end, as we have a couple techniques that not too many people are familiar with. But before we get started, do us a favor, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. All your support helps us bring you great content like this. Gargle warm salt water. This is a classic home remedy that feels nice and can help get rid of the mucus that has accumulated in the back of your throat. It works because sodium helps to break up the disulfide bonds within mucus and thins it out for removal. It can also help to soothe a sore throat as well. Simply mix half a teaspoon of salt with 1 cup of warm water, so that the salt is able to dissolve. Tilt your head back slightly and gargle the mixture in your throat. Do not drink it. Repeat the process as needed, throughout the day. Try the huff coughing technique. Huff coughing is a forced expiration technique that is an alternative to deep coughing and is also useful in getting rid of mucus and phlegm. All you have to do is take a slightly deeper breath than your normal tidal volume breath. Then use your diaphragm and the muscles in your stomach to make a series of 3 rapid exhalations with an open airway. This is where the technique gets its name. At this point you will literally be making a huffing sound. Lastly, perform a series of diaphragmatic breaths and perform a deep cough if you feel the mucus is starting to loosen. Drink plenty of fluids. You probably grew up hearing your parents tell you to drink plenty of water every time you were sick or had a cold. It may sound cliché, but they were 100% correct because it actually does help improve the functionality of pretty much all the body's major systems. Also, staying hydrated helps to thin out mucus as well. If your body is dehydrated, it will cause the secretions to thicken up, which makes it more difficult to remove and makes the issue even worse. Having a well-hydrated body has the opposite effect, where the mucus in your body becomes much thinner and easier to expel. Keep your head elevated. This is especially important while sleeping. A post-nasal drip is one of the most common causes of excess phlegm, especially while lying down. It causes secretions to accumulate in the back of your throat, which leaves you with that uncomfortable feeling. Simply keeping your head elevated can prevent this collection of mucus from occurring. This technique will not make the mucus go away. However, it will prevent it from building up in the back of your throat, which will have you feeling much better overall. Take a hot bath or shower. In this case, the main benefit is to inhale the steam that is produced by warm water. Steam acts as a natural way to help break up and get rid of mucus because it consists of tiny liquid aerosol particles that are suspended within the air. The process is simple. Simply breathe in and out to allow the humidity from the steam to enter the airways and work to loosen up mucus so that it can be removed. This method also helps to reduce sinus pressure, chest congestion and a few other nagging symptoms as well. Avoid irritants. Things like pollution, chemicals, and even certain fragrances can trigger the body to produce excessive amounts of mucus. So if you notice that any of these are making your symptoms worse, just try to avoid it if possible. If you smoke, pay close attention to this next point. Cigarette smoke contains over 7,000 toxic chemicals, some of which can trigger the body to create mucus as a way to combat foreign substances. So, if you smoke, do your best to try and stop. If possible, try to avoid secondhand smoke as well. Eat foods that are good for the respiratory system. This method is much less common than the others mentioned. Anecdotal studies found that certain foods and drinks can be very effective in getting rid of mucus and phlegm. Let's look at spicy foods as an example. Spices such as chili and cayenne pepper contain substances that can stimulate and clear up your sinuses. This can help make removing secretions much easier by blowing your nose or coughing. Try eating foods with healthy fats. Spices like turmeric that reduce inflammation. And fruits and vegetables high in antioxidants. Use eucalyptus oil. The eucalyptus tree originated in Australia and has been a source of food for wildlife for centuries. It wasn't until later on that humans discovered its positive health benefits, which include treating sinus congestion, common cold, fever, and other respiratory ailments. Eucalyptus contains many components that are beneficial for your health, but one of the primary ones is sinul. It's an active ingredient that works as an expectorant, which means it can aid in the expulsion of excess mucus and phlegm. It acts with the mucous membranes and helps to loosen up secretions so they can be coughed up more easily. I hope you liked the tips that we've shared. Millions of people around the world suffer from the uncomfortable feeling that comes from excessive mucus and phlegm accumulating in your lungs and throat. Once again guys, if you could do us a huge favor and hit that like button. We really appreciate all your continued support. Hopefully you have a good grasp of these methods, so that moving forward you can attach the problem head on. But keep in mind some respiratory issues can become serious and sometimes fatal. It's important to speak with your doctor to seek advice on what can work for you, especially if the symptoms worsen or persist. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please take a moment to subscribe. Leave a comment with suggestions for future videos. We love giving you actionable health advice and remedies.